What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, Create Space. The link will be in the description box below. The Black Male Experience. The rebirth of black manhood, masculinity, whatever. Um, One thing about the information age is because you can have information readily available, you can have real life experience, people's lives are interactive. You you as black men, you start to see our experiences that are similar and different, and you're starting to see heterosexual black men talk about their lives or express the things that they've been left out of for a purposeful reason. And there was a time where like civil rights era, where those are the black men that people romanticize and want to be, and the guys, the men prior to them in Jim Crow and the Reconstruction era, those are the black men that people like. As far as after that, from the baby boomers to Generation X, to the millennials, I think the baby boomers have basically dropped the ball, but Generation X, we are a mixed bag, and the millennials, to be announced at a later date. But living off of past stereotypes of black men, now people are seeing a more vast variety, and they can't deny it. They can't deny the nuance. They can't deny our difference in life, our contributions in life, our being spot on, being the canaries in the mine, predicting the future, our talents as far as creation that the information age and technology is putting on blast, that people just like stealing. You know, we're seeing the difference between people who get paid to be the negative stereotypes or live up to the negative stereotype versus the persons who are ignored for being a positive stereotype. But the thing about that is, it's not as if those people don't exist anymore. They're not a figment of your imagination or some unicorn. They're not a mythical thing. They're everywhere around you, and you're seeing that, wait a minute, these people aren't just somewhere off in a secluded place and they happen to be one in a million. Actually, they're like walking by me every day. So now you're seeing this rebirth where, black men are paying for the sins of the father to a degree. And at the same time, the work they're being put in is being watched, but in some ways ignored. And then people run back to it and say, wait a minute, y'all did that. Yeah. Wait a minute. Y'all said that. Yeah. Wait a minute. Y'all predicted that. Yeah. Wait a minute. Y'all tried to fix that, but y'all were sabotaged. And not everybody's paying for it. Yeah. Think about it. See, people aren't making too much fun of Dennis Rodman right now that we could be on the cusp of going to war with Korea, because Dennis Rodman actually did more justice to keeping peace than the president. But I digress, right? The last president, though he didn't do anything for black people, all the people who hated his guts kind of miss him now. Kind of look, he kind of looks, He's sandwiched in the middle of between George Bush and Donald Trump, and now you're starting to see like, eesh, maybe, maybe the hate is just a little too much, you know. But this is what's rebirthing black masculinity. The putting all of these effeminate guys up front and on Front Street and promoting it and having their back and giving them platforms and their sheer stupidity compared to the other people who are getting less attention, but people are paying attention and gravitate to them, is changing. Like, some people don't like Tariq Nasheed, but he's been saying white supremacy for years, right? Now all of a sudden, even though people don't like Tariq, or some people like him, some people don't you hear the word white supremacy popping up a lot? Where did that start? Where did that trend started? Same thing with the coon thing, but where did that trend start? With black men, for the most part, who was saying, y'all shouldn't put Trump in office. It's not a good idea. There was the demographic who voted for him, so it's like 13% of black men, the other 80-something didn't. But they try to harp on that 13%. Even those 13% of black men who was all clapping for the current president, they're kind of quiet. They can't really, But I'm saying I'm going somewhere with this. Just stay with me. Just stay with me. Because now, you have black men who talk about parenting, right? And guess what? Everything the brothers have been saying is pretty much spot on about the need for a father. All these men are deadbeats and they don't take care of their kids, and then the CDC comes out and says black men who even non-custodial spend more time with their kids on average than anybody else. So now, what is that? See, that changes the dynamic. You have people who have the ideology that everybody is better than a black man. Now they're with non-black men, and it's not working out so well, and they blame black men for their choice. But people are starting to look at them like, well, black men aren't in the room with you to hate them. You didn't want them, so why are you taking out your angst at men that you don't want to be with? Why are you with the person that you do want to be with? Why aren't you happy where you're at? So that changes the narrative, because it's like, okay, maybe these guys are not what we say. Even our sisters, who don't like the brothers, and they're starting to come around because they were independent and strong and didn't need a man, and now they want to be protected by the very men that they didn't need. And there's going to have to come some acknowledgement, some apology, some atonement for that. But, and the black men ain't nothing or whatever. It's rhetoric. And now they're starting to see it's a lot of guys who are pretty darn good that they said they didn't need, and change the dynamic, because you're seeing these guys maybe be better husbands to other people, other women. They may be black women and non-black women. These guys may be single, and now people are wishing that they were with them or could be with them. These guys may not have children, and people wish that they would have children with that particular guy. That's how most fellas. That's how I'm not gonna say most, but there's a good percentage of men that get trapped with babies because of that. Because these women come to find out the type of man that they didn't want is the type that they really want or need. So it changes the narrative. So that's the problem. Rebirth is a rebirth of manhood by our actions. It's not just athletes and entertainers who are out here doing good things. People forget about the brothers with the schools in Chicago and on the East Coast, with the all boys schools, that are doing good work. That changes the narrative. People try to hide it, but they know it exists. People don't talk about the businessmen or the people that push the social narrative. Like, if you want to bring up the athletes and entertainers, this Kaepernick thing and this Neil and his activism, you're just an athlete, or the hands up, don't shoot, the Trayvon Martins, and how nobody's letting anything go, and now society is putting pressure on black men, are putting pressure on society's BS, and to the point where it's challenging most people's norms, and it's making the country uncomfortable. And it takes a man to make the country uncomfortable. So now that changes the narrative. Not to mention, everybody else is crumbling masculinity because of you're seeing other groups of men's incompetence. They were great at coming together and keeping black men out of certain things, but now you're seeing that even when they were working together, they're incompetent. So now they may have a lot of money, but they didn't tell you that they were in super debt, and now they're scrambling. You thought they were mentally strong, but now you see that they're very fragile. You thought they were physically intimidating. Now you see that nobody's scared of them, and everybody has this fear for black men. Everybody has this fear for black men uniting. Everybody has this fear for black men getting more business savvy and working together, and they have this fear for black men just being more physically imposing and intimidating. And guess what? It's rebirthing the masculinity and manhood, because the overlooking the reality, the positives in black men, is really causing a snowball effect in the swinging of the pendulum. Because while you're overlooking the positives that black men do, we keep doing, but you're overlooking the negatives of other people, what they're doing, and they keep doing that too. So at some point, there's going to be a shift, and that's why you see all of this unraveling of how can I say this, confidence in other people, because men can feel the shift. Power isn't a tangible thing. It's really just a feeling. Now they're losing that feeling, and it's not coming back. So, and because it's not coming back, whether people pay attention to it or not, they're starting to gravitate more and more to black men. So I'm just saying, I see it coming. Peace.